I'm live and I've got hair. Hi. Yeah, I'm 2 minutes early, but I figured there's no point in me just standing here hanging around like bloody Madonna or Axl Rose or something, waiting for my cue. Here I am. I've got people watching already. This is very exciting. Can you ask your neighbours to be quiet this evening? Absolutely not. Once again, there is an England football match on of great importance to some, apparently. So there will be joyful shouting or riotous screaming, I'm sure, at some point this evening. So, if you were here last time, you would have seen that, to me, the bicycle and the tools for maintaining the bicycle are like an extension of me. I'm so in tune with the machinery. That's not true, of course. It's more like a second left foot, and I didn't really get anything achieved until I stopped streaming. And then I managed to get the cranks off because they're self-extracting and I don't need a crank puller. Got my new bottom bracket in, I've got my chain on, but what I found, I thought I'd get away without a new chain ring, but it's going click-a-clack, click-a-clack, click-a-clack. So that's not going to happen. So I've got a nice Thorn reversible chain ring, which is going on. And I'm going to flip the sprocket on the Rohloff round and get another life out of that. So that's the plan. Back wheel off. Lost my spanner already. Sexy gloves. Ooh. Sexy gloves. Don't attend to anything without the sexy gloves. Get ready. Oh, you love it. You love it. Right. Okay, I'm going to take the back wheel off. Got a spanner. And always forget to disengage the little Rohloff fang before I take my wheels off. Shocking. Before I take the chain off, don't I? Got another new tool, look. Little wolf tooth master link pliers. Normally, I find master links you can just do with your fingers. This one is really, really tough. And I had some of these. I bought some of these about a year ago, and I had them for about 45 minutes before I lost them. Don't know what happened to them. They must have fallen out somewhere. So these ones, I bought red ones this time. Hopefully, so they won't disappear into the filth like everything else that I own. Right. There's a chain. Put that somewhere relatively safe for a second. And continue removing this wheel. Okay. Looking fine. Looking very fine. Okay. So now we're going to nip off the little Rohloff sprocket on there and flip it round because they're all reversible apart from the very small ones, I think. So I'm hoping this one is. Take off my tug nut. I have a tug nut on both sides and I can't remember why. I need them on both sides. So there is a special tool for removing Rohloff sprockets. It looks like this. I just got this new, so I've never used it before. it goes on like, oh, it really doesn't go on at all. Well, there's a spacer on there. That's the surly spacer, which is so encrusted with grime that I missed it. So now this will go on. Fits like a right charm. Get that on. So that just fits into the sprocket like that and is held on with the old axle nut. So you can't see this, can you? Not that you need to see it, but I'm going to be a pro about this, which of course I'm not. I'll tilt you down a little bit so you can see my radiator. So I've got a chain whip, and I've got a new wrench. Look at this, look at the size of that. You could beat a baby seal to death with that. I'm building up my Park Tools collection. I know it's a bit wafty and incredibly expensive, but I want my house to be like the workshop in those Park Tools maintenance videos. So I've got the big wrench, I've got the chain whip, I've got the bottom bracket tool, I've got a few others, I'm getting there. So this, I believe, is 24 mil. Yup. Chain whip. I hate chain whips, they scare the Jesus out of me. And the video on Rohloff's site says a short, sharp jerk. Oh, I'm scared. That was less scary than I thought. And then the chain ring just comes off over the tool. And there we go. My God, it's disgusting. It is disgusting. Oh. Is mine a non-reversible one? How many teeth is this? That's not what I wanted to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 teeth. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm going to watch. I'm going to watch a video while you're watching me. Partly because it'll tell me whether or not this should work. Partly because I have a weird thing about the voice of the woman who does the Rohloff videos. I think she's got a great voice. So I'll turn her down a bit because she's going to be well loud, mate, well loud.
Here before removing it from the bicycle. To complete this procedure, you will be usable, with the exception of the 13 tooth size.
13 tooth size? Mine's not 13, mine's a 16. Is this because I haven't watched the video all the way to the end?
Sprocket remover tool, and can now either be reversed or replaced.
Listen to her voice.
Whichever the choice, ensure the new seal surface is clean and burr-free, so as to avoid potential oil loss after mounting.
Potential oil loss. She's got a great voice.
Before mounting, lightly grease the sprocket thread.
Well,
screw the sprocket over the sprocket remover tool in the direction of drive.
Okay, we're just going to try it. We are just going to try it. We are blazing trails, having adventures. Yeah, it's all happening. Yeah, got 11 people watching. Nobody chatting. That's fine, don't feel pressured. I've got a little tub of warm soapy water over here. I'm just gonna give this a little scrub. Toothbrush. This is a Park Tools toothbrush. Cost me £85. Oh, that's disgusting. There's so much crud on these. It's not even funny. Don't attempt anything without the glasses. Oh, inches of just archaeology. One day, I'll learn to clean my knife like a proper person. Yeah, this is, I don't know. It says they're all reversible, but it's not symmetrical. I don't know if that matters or not. Yes, that's not going to work. That's not going to work at all. The chain line's going to be all naked. Why is nothing ever simple? Nothing is ever simple. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Come on, somebody on here must have flipped a Rohloff sprocket in the past. Let's have your knowledge. Just going to screw this back on very quickly. I'm not convinced about this. I was very much expecting it to be the same on the inside as it is on the outside, but it isn't. Maybe it doesn't matter. I'm not sure. I mean, it wouldn't be one of my bike tinkering videos if I knew what I was doing. So I don't think that's going to work. If I put that back on the right way round, it's not the same. Oh, I'm going to do some Googling. I'm going to do some Googling. Let's just have a look for Rohloff 16-tooth sprocket. Because I thought they're supposed to be flippable. Yep. Hang on a second. So is the sprocket not part? Oh, is that? sprocket and that, is that not one piece? Is that two pieces just held together with crud? So, I mean, it's entirely possible. It must be so nice to know what you're doing. I think I had this exact conversation on the last session. Well, I'm uncertain. I'm uncertain. Have you done this before? Come on, you know me better than that. Of course not. Of course not. I just assumed that it would be really easy because I have such great luck with bike maintenance tasks. No, I haven't done this before. This sprocket came attached to the Rohloff. And you know what? That's a bloody O-ring, isn't it? This is okay. This is all starting to make sense. I mean, right. So how do I get that? Oh man, do I need another tool to get that off? How do I get that O-ring off? I don't have a tool for doing that. So I think this is my sprocket here. You see it's deeper on the back. This is actually two things. This is a sprocket attached to a carrier, held on by like a springy O-ring, and I don't have a tool to get that off. Why didn't the sexy voiced woman mention that in her video? You would have thought that when you list the tools required to do a job, you'd list all of the tools required to do the job. That's the efficient way to do it. I mean, my God, they're Germans. They're supposed to be good at this stuff. I assume they're German. Rohloff, are they German? So she... Okay, I'm going to actually watch this video and see what it looks like when they do it. So they're taking off the thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. Oh man, do I need a tool for this? Rohloff, sprocket, off. What do they call it? It's a carrier. Rohloff splined cog removal. Dag-nammit. Okay, how am I going to do this then? Sprocket replacement. I need some light. I need some more light on the subject. I have just the thing here. It's called a light. Nuclear dawn. So let's have a look on Rohloff page. Sprocket reversing and replacing. Make sure the sprocket remover tool is, yeah, I've done that. Loads of oil just came out. That's never a good sign. Oh, it's a lovely colour, but that's never a good sign. It means I'm probably going to have to do an oil replacement as well. And probably get a new floor. Oh, that's fine, it's coming off. Oh, crikey. Crikey. Right. Come on, YouTube, help me out here. How am I going to get that off? Is that a thing that comes off? It looks like it is. Looks like it is. Ah! Ha ha! The usual quality tool at my disposal. Brute force. Is brute force going to work? It's definitely removable, folks. Just this is just asking for me to stab myself in the fingers with something. What have I got that would do this? Nothing, I don't think. It's got like a I expect there is a special Rohloff tool for doing this, but I don't know. I don't even know what it would be called. What is it like? Oh, it's just revealing years of encrusted filth. Wow, look, only 6 people watching. Must be the football. When does the football start? Not till later, I don't think. Maybe people just learned exactly how much fun it is watching me mend my bike, which is not much. If I can just get one end, is there some kind of talking to myself? Christopher Flint just joined. What are you attempting? What I am attempting, Christopher, is to reverse the sprocket on my Rohloff. It's been on there 2 years, and I don't know if you can see it's starting to get a little bit sharky. I've just replaced the chain, and so I'm going to flip this and hopefully get another load of wear out of it. And then I'm going to put this nice Thorn reversible chainring on. Mark, I'm reversing it because these are reversible, so you can see these faces are worn. And if I flip it, it's basically the face that takes all the stress from the chain will be renewed, reinvigorated, but it's on a splined carrier, which I do not have a tool for removing. So I'm attempting to be clever, which is not my strongest suit. Some needle nose pliers that aren't a leather man would be good. Oh, I love it when you need a tool and you've got it. Makes you feel like a real boy. Right, if I put that on there, do that like that. Oh, nearly. This is going to happen. This is going to happen. See if I'd. This is another tool to buy. Is that the threaded or spline? So it's threaded. The carrier, you sound like someone who knows what they're talking about. The carrier is threaded inside in here, and the cog is attached. I can see with a sort of, well, I'm assuming it's attached. There's like an O clip on there, which I'm attempting to undo. Annoyingly, if I'd known that, I assume I could have got. I don't know. I mean, how's the cog even? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I wish I hadn't taken this off because it means all the oil's come out of the hub and was all over my floor. Anywho's. Yeah. Any noise. Okay. This feels like the sort of things. Ping! Did it. So, funny little O-ring thing, which could do with a clean, like everything else. And then, well, is that attached? Is that just held on with filth, like everything else on my bike? Quite likely. Ooh. Encrusted with goo. Oh, why am I not wearing my sexy glove? Oil all over my delicate fingers. Yeah, I'm sure there is a specific tool. The world is full of specific tools. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Look at that. There we go. Sprocket, carrier. So I want to flip that over. So I'm going to put this sprocket down with the side I want on the outside facing up. Don't let me forget that. Because otherwise I'll go for all this faff and just won't change anything. Just going to brush the grease off my ring. No giggling at the back. Ugh. Times like this, I wish I had a workshop. I'm doing this in my front room because that's all I've got. Oh, look, people. I appreciate that comment probably isn't helpful. It is helpful. I mean, all advice is helpful. And yeah, I'm sure there is a tool for it. But actually, I managed to do it with a pair of Vernier pliers and then just slipping a blade under when it's stretched out. So bikes are getting more and more complex by the year, it seems. Well, they are. But at the same time, there's still, I don't think there's anything on a bike that just a normal Joe Blogs or Joanne Blogs couldn't. You can sit down and look at it and work it out, generally. Although saying that, I watched a video the other day of a guy taking a Rohloff apart and looking at the engineering inside the hub. My God, that is a universe of confusion. Just thousands of little meshed gears all, I mean, it's beautiful. It is like a piece of sculpture, but it didn't make any sense to me. And to be honest, you don't have to. If you've got to the point where you're going inside your own Rohloff, you're either a fool or a genius, I would say. Advice: make pictures of every phase of disassembling stuff. That is a good shout, actually. This is fairly obvious. The only thing which I'm possibly going to do stupidly here is forget which side of the sprocket I've already used, although you can see where it's started to shark things. So I think I'm all right. But yes, I have also fallen foul of that. So I have a question. I have a subject I would like to put to the YouTube community. I know there's only 8 people here. We can keep this one going. This can be the theme of the evening. Dynamos, or ways to keep yourself charged up on rides. I'm assuming that you folks all do rides longer than a day at times, and I'm assuming that because we live in the modern world, you have to keep some sort of gadgets charged up, you know, phones and cameras and what have you. How do you do it? Power banks. Okay, so this is the first step, isn't it? Just a big power bank. I have a 20,000 milliamp hour Anchor power bank. 3D bike packing sometimes. Yeah, okay, so power banks all the way, which is interesting. So I have, yeah, a big power bank, like I said. I also have a Sun 28 Classic hub dynamo, which I've had for a long time. I bought it in my housemate just walked past and very softly said the word arse under his breath. Yeah, so I have a dynamo which I bought, I think, at the beginning of 2010. So it's old, like, and it's, oh, look at my glasses, I'm turning into a teacher. Yeah, so it's old, and I think the bearings are starting to need looking at. And I plug into the dynamo a Bush and Muller E-Work, which is like the little jobber that regulates the power. And from that, I charge either a power bank or plug straight into my phone. And it seems to be all right. But then, so I've been thinking about how to do this if I want to try and get the Sun serviced, or if I want to look at another option. And I don't know anything about electricity. I don't know an amp from a volt from a watt, to be honest. It's all magic to me. And then yesterday, a chap messaged me on Reddit who works for a company called Pedal Cell. And he just messaged me because I've been in a couple of chats on Reddit about dynamos and things, and I think he's doing market research or something. He works for this company, Pedal Cell, who I've seen adverts for kicking around recently, and they make a rim dynamo, like one of those old bottle dynamos that people used to use back in the way back, except apparently not crap. Apparently significantly better than a hub dynamo, more efficient, you know, better at every metric. And I didn't really believe it at first, because in my head, you know, the truth has always been hub dynamos are the absolute be all end all of bicycle power generation. And so I hadn't really sort of paid them much attention. But I started reading, and every review that I've read agrees with their gump and says that, you know, it's a brilliant system, it's more efficient, it generates more power. You know, I was reading a thing and the guy was saying that dynamo hubs are all built around the old standards from when they were just used to power lights, and that powering USB off them and stuff is kind of not really what they were designed for, and yada, yada, yada. And so now all of a sudden I'm thinking, oh, maybe I should get a pedal cell. they seem really cool. You don't have to have a separate unit to regulate the power. You can flip them off. So if you're climbing, you can pull them away from the rim, which in theory means there is zero drag. I mean, even the sun, there's only magnets in there, but there's going to be some level of drag even when you're not drawing a current from it. So with a rim dynamo, you can get rid of that. And you can take it off and whop it on another bike if you wanted to. You can mount them on the back as well, which is kind of cool. Because then I suddenly thought, if it's mounted on the back, when you're at camp, you can just flip the bike up on the end and just pedal to generate power. So I'm kind of suddenly thinking about rim dynamos, and it feels dirty and a bit weird, like I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm genuinely thinking about it. And so that's a very long-winded way of asking you all what you think about it. So 3-day trips on a power bank. Yeah, I've got 20,000 milliamp power bank, and I reckon I could do probably 4 or 5 days on it. I've definitely done 4, although I do usually have it sort of trickle charging from the hub during the day. Oh man, I thought this I thought this was black, but it's just disgusting. It's just caked in very nasty grease. So when you go longer, you need to be able to charge the power bank sometimes. Yes, in a country like the Netherlands, that would never be an issue. Never use a dynamo. Yeah, interesting. Well, this is the thing. If you're hitting campsites and stuff, generally you can find somewhere to charge. But I have, on past trips, regularly done 4, 5, 6 days just wild camping, and I like having the freedom to do that, even if that's probably not the norm. It's nice to know that you are self-sufficient, you know. Just a good feeling. Tried solar. I bought a solar panel once thinking, oh, this is great. I can strap it over my panniers and ride along with it behind me. It's such a faff. I never even took it out. I took it out on a few test rides and was just like, I'm not having this. Pain in the bum. So I ditched that. That's in the attic somewhere. Sun 28 on our Thorn Tandem. Also, SKS power banks, home charger, charger off the dome, running the device via a Velo charger made by Adept. See, this is the other thing. When you get into, you've got the hub, you have to have a thing to regulate that. And there's so many to choose from. And like I said, I don't know what a watt is. What? It's, I just looked straight into my light, now I'm blind. And that's another thing that quite appealed to me with the pedal cell. Is you have a thing that comes off your wheel and it has 2 USB-C ports on it. I think one's 3 watts and the other one is 3 watts maintained by what's the thing called in electric things that makes the current always stay the same? Capacitor. It's got a capacitor, and the other one just goes up and up and up the faster you cycle. Sounds pretty groovy. Voltac solar panel which charges the battery. Yeah, sunshine. See, I ride in Europe. My dream cycles all involve Norway and Sweden, where it's not always sunny. Totally agree about the wildcam. It's just almost impossible in the Netherlands. See, is that the case in the Netherlands? Now, I've cycled. I did Rotterdam all up the coast into Germany, and yeah, it's very kind of rural, and I guess you could have wild camped in a couple of places, but it would have been a bit, oh, nobody come and get me, sort of, wouldn't have been great. But then I follow a few cyclists from the Netherlands on Instagram and stuff, and I see some pictures of like forest and quite nice sort of sandy heath forests and things. I think it's all down south. I've never been down that way in the Netherlands, but you know, I've seen enough little bits and pieces here and there that actually make me, I'd quite like to just do a tour of the Netherlands, because it's only just over there. Although now with Brexit, I'll probably get shot on sight. But yes, I love wild camping. There's something very pleasant about it. And if you get to go to Norway or Sweden, where you can do it without sort of feeling guilty about it, it's it's fantastic. I love it. Pitch up early. I mean, in Sweden, you find those amazing pitches on the side of huge lakes, and you can pitch up, and they quite often have a little fire pit or something, and you can have a fire, bake a potato, go for a swim. Oh, God, I want to go touring again, man. Can't believe I haven't won the lottery yet. Can't believe the BBC haven't picked me up for a massive bicycle touring documentary contract. Fools. Fools, the lot of them. Beautiful forest and heath in the Netherlands, but all on the side of a postage stamp. It's hard to find a place where you don't hear cars on the road. Well, I mean, mate, it's not that different here in the UK. I think I can't remember what the statistic is, but I know in England, I don't think you're ever more than 7 miles from a road or something. And, you know, there are only a very select few places where you can go in England, definitely, to feel like you're in the wilderness. I guess, you know, the sort of Pennines and the moors, Yorkshire moors, Exmoor, Dartmoor, you can get some wilderness there. Wales has got a bit more of that kind of thing. And then, of course, Scotland has got all its amazing stuff. But none of it, you know, I remember when first time I rode in Sweden, just feeling like there was no one else in the world. You know, you ride all day on these beautiful gravel trails through the forest, and there's streams and waterfalls and ditches full of wildflowers and lakes and rivers, and I see elk and deer and red squirrels playing in the trees, and it's just something else. And you're just cycling and cycling and cycling, and you see no one. You know, occasionally you pass these little sort of summer cottages all closed up and just waiting for someone to come and spend a weekend there. And it's just forest, just, you know, hundreds of miles of it sometimes, especially when you start to get up north. I mean, I didn't even go that far north, but I loved it. I loved Sweden. I think it's a fantastic country for cycling. You can just be completely directionless. You don't need to plan anything. You just ride. When you get tired, you stop. And yeah, what a life. Wow, I'm making a mess. So there are nice little camping sites. If you see, that's the thing, knowing where to look. Alex Morgan, hi Alex. I have 28 front dynamo hub, but seldom use it as I have two 26.8 power banks. That is a lot of milliamp hours. I think mine's 21, and that generally does me. 26,800. That must weigh a ton. It's like carrying a Tesla. Do you know what I've done? I forgot which side was up. So, which way's drive on this beast? Drive is that way. So I want to put chainring back on that way, I believe. It's all working. It's all going back together right nice. So, Alex Moore, Sweden sounds like cycling paradise. The shot, there's any downside to it. Yeah, man. Midges. I mean, I've cycled in Scotland, so I've seen midges, but yeah, what the Scandinavia ride that I did in 2019, I cycled up through the middle of Norway, and there was very little in the way of, I mean, there were some mosquitoes, but nothing horrendous, you know. And then I crossed over into Sweden, and it was like, once you got within about 50 miles of the border, the mosquitoes turned to midges, those tiny, invisible bastards, billions of them, absolutely billions of them. And they just get everywhere, up your nose, in your clothes, and they bite you through your socks. And fortunately, I don't seem to react too badly to them. I know some people react really badly to them and come up in loads of like those weird welts, but for me, it's just a sort of minor annoyance, really, which is nice. Which was nice. But yeah, Sweden's an awesome country for it. All the Scandinavian countries. Norway's fantastic, but Norway's a bit more, because it's much more mountainous. Like in Sweden, you can just wander. And my friend who's Swedish, she describes Sweden as a country with no dead ends. You know, if you see a road, you know it goes somewhere. And I found this to be pretty true. A couple of forestry trails that end in a turning circle, but usually they go somewhere. In Norway, you know, because you're on a road at the bottom of a valley, and to either side of you is mountains, you'd need ropes to get up. And then occasionally you'll see these roads and that looks beautiful. And you follow it on the map thinking, that's going to be an amazing ride. It just goes 50 kilometers, 60, 70, and then it just ends in a little group of houses and literally no way through. It's not as though you could, I'll muscle through and do a bit of hiker bike. You know, it's slab rock 1,000 feet. So Norway is a bit more, you know, pick your route and stick to it kind of thing. Whereas in Sweden, you can just go, no, I'm going to go down there, and it will probably come out somewhere with a supermarket in a day or two. But yeah, lots of blokes and ticks as well. But then southern Norway's got a lot of ticks too. If you ever plan to bikepack in the Netherlands, feel free to contact me. We'd gladly help. Awesome. I'd love to bikepack in there. I'd love to bikepack everywhere. As I say over and over again, ad nauseum. As soon as I work out how to quit my job and become a professional YouTube influencer, I'll quit my job and become a professional YouTube influencer. Cycle from town to town, selling spoons and stories. Because that's what the world needs at the moment. Cycle from town to town, selling spoons and stories for 90 days out of every 180, because then I have to go back because I live in a country populated by small-minded idiots. I'm not going to talk about Brexit. Thank you very much for the offer there. I will actually make a note of that, and who knows, maybe one day I'll take you up on it. Looks okay, but pedal cell is over 200 quid. Pedal cell is over 200 quid, but I don't know how much a Sun 28 is, but they're 150, and then you've got to plug it into something. I haven't got my Bush and Miller E-Work is over 100 quid, I think, and I would have thought probably by the time you've bought a decent hub dynamo and some sort of regulator package, you're going to have spent 200 quid, and then you've got to get it built into a wheel. I can't do wheel builds, so that means I send my wheel off to someone, which is a pain and probably cost another 50 quid, I don't know, get a wheel built. So, yeah, don't know. The money doesn't bother me so much, you know. As I said in my last thing, I don't mind spending money on my bike because I don't spend money on anything else. You know, this is my hobby, my passion, my only source of transport. I don't have a car. You know, it's worth spending some money on because I spend so much. I mean, this is my only bike. You know, so I cycle to my friends. I go and visit my family on it. I used to cycle to work. and I cycle for pleasure and I cycle for exercise. I've never been to a gym. You know, I don't have any desire to do that stuff. I mean, this bike is everything to me, man. So 200 quid. It is a lot of money, but this is that's what it's for. You can't take it with you. 26.8 milliamp hour is the maximum power bank you're allowed to fly with. Ooh, interesting piece of info there. I would, oh my knees, my God, I'm old. My only point to make up there would be, and I'm not trying to sound like a patronising prick or anything, but I'm going to try and not fly anymore. Partly because I don't like flying. I have never liked flying. I don't particularly like the sensation of flying, and I definitely don't like airports and aeroplanes and the whole rigmarole of flying. So I saw, plus of course, the world's on fire, and I believe in climate change, and I believe that flying is a good thing to give up if you're going to give up something. So I'm going to give it up. But yes, I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, you fly on airplanes, because I probably will fly on airplanes again. I'm just talking now, aren't I? Just talking. Many free shelters in Sweden look really good. Yeah, they do. I tell you, if you want free shelters though, Denmark is the place to go. My absolute God, their shelter system in Denmark, I don't know why the world doesn't know about it. You know, it should be up there with the British NHS. It's a fantastic achievement. I mean, you can sign. I wouldn't be that uncomfortable going to cycle around Denmark without a tent, because there's a shelter, I mean, every few miles, pretty much, and they're amazingly built, really good quality, really well made. They're usually in really beautiful places, you know, by rivers or by the sea or in the forest. They almost always have drinking water. They always have a toilet. They quite often have a fire pit. Some of them have other bits and pieces. You know, you'll turn up there, there'll be firewood ready to go. There'll be tinder ready to go. There's a nice, like a grill over the fireplace. You can just rock up and stay for 1 or 2 nights, I think, and go. And it's free and it's there, and they're fantastic. Nobody tries to burn them down or any of that stuff. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it when I found out that they existed, because in England, it just wouldn't work. I mean, it would be deemed a waste of money, or it would just become somewhere for crackheads and my neighbours to go and be mouthy. Okay, sprocket swapped. So that's good. That is good. That wasn't too fraught and unpleasant. So I'm going to flip the flip up, and then we'll look at the bike. There's my bike. Ta-da! So, what's happening here? So where did we get to? Yeah, shelters in Sweden are brilliant. Shelters in Denmark are better. There are a few in Norway as well, but I've never found a map of them. I've got a map of all the Swedish ones and a map of all the Danish ones. But yeah, Norway. We have a lot here in Wales. What shelters? I know that bike adventure. What are you tinkering with today? Rohloff sprocket, chainring, chain. Today, that's the flavour of the day. Norway is either up or down, very little flat, very challenging but stunning. Yeah, it is. I mean, I would definitely go back to Norway, and I would even do the rides that I've already done again. That day that I rode the Rallevagen down into Florm, and then the climb up out of Florm. I think, according to Strava, it's the biggest climb I've ever done. And it was an absolute killer, you know, climbing for hours, but on this fantastic, quiet road with amazing views down over the fjord and the cruise ships coming in. And that was epic. I mean, epic is not a word that I try to use too often, but it really was epic. And yeah, I'd love to go back. One day I will go back. As little as I care about football, how annoyingly got that song stuck in my head. One of my neighbours keeps going out into the garden and just bellowing into the sky, "Football's coming home." And I seem to have been infected, not with caring about football, but just with that song. Actually, topically, are they playing Denmark tonight? Is it England-Denmark? Here's us talking about Danish shelters, whilst somewhere some Danish people are doing something that I don't care about on a field. Anyway, so what happened to the spoon you showed us in your last tinkering session? It is sitting on the table in there. Well, actually, I did another one of it. At some point, I'm going to photograph these and I'm going to try and sell them to all you folks, because this is my dream still. I still fantasize about getting a bit better at this stuff. That's a kind of, I guess it's like a serving spoon, maybe a salad spoon. I had an attempt at a finial. That's supposed to be, I don't know what it is. It's kind of lotus, maybe, I don't know. That's made of a bit of cherry that fell down by the river near here. I was well excited because cherry is awesome to carve. But actually, weirdly, this one, the wood is full of strange little sort of pockets of resin, and it's sort of a bit splintery, so it's actually harder to carve, which is why I did quite a simple spoon. But I quite like it. It's all right for doing, I don't know, a nice couscous salad or something. So yeah, there are spoons coming, and I do, yeah, I fantasize about spoons, not in a sexy way. I just fantasize that, you know, this channel makes a little bit of money off ads, not a lot, a little bit. And I sell a few spoons, and I've had a few Ko-fi donations, which just stuns me. And it does every time I make any money off it. I get this little rush of like, oh, this is it. This is the moment where it all changes, and suddenly I'm going to go viral, and I'm going to make a fortune. And I'm going to just be able to rent my house out and quit my job and cycle south in the winter and north in the summer, and run barefoot through grassy meadows in slow motion, dive into crisp cold mountain streams, sit in the sighing forests of the north and contemplate the sky. All that nonsense. Can't remember what I was talking about. Forgive me, getting old. So this is where we have to see if I calculated the right BCD. After all these years of biking, I only just, whilst buying this, found out what BCD stands for. Bolt, circle, diameter. Makes sense once you see the diagrams, but is it the same? Is it the same? Oh, look at this. We're on a, oh, might be all right. God, this is like a juggernaut of success we're on now. Done the sprocket, going to do the chainring. It might be a bit lighter as well. It's a thorn one, and it's nice, got pretty pointy teeth, and it's reversible. So what happened to the spoon? There's the spoon. The spoon will be on Ko-fi very soon. Where and when's our next adventure? On the 24th, I am riding the King Alfred's Way with Alan, who I'm sure you will all know from other videos. Alan, although he rides with me a bit and we've done a few overnighters, he's not really bike packed before in the sense of carrying camping gear and what have you. So this is kind of his, I'm attempting to get him addicted to it so that we can both quit our work together and go and become cycling crime fighters, going from town to town, solving crimes and reciting poetry. This doesn't bloody fit. Or does it? It doesn't bloody fit. Oh, no it does. No it doesn't. An absolute skunk muffin. Oh, don't give me that. Why doesn't that fit? Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, it's like a millimetre off. It's not, it's the BCD's alright, the bloody chain, the ring doesn't fit. You naughty. Why can't these companies just make things all the same? Juggernaut of success is slowed to a stop. Christopher Flint off to drink red wine and eat chocolate. Fair play, mate. Enjoy. Sun 28 is 250 quid. God, is it? I don't think it was that much when I bought it, but wow, 700 quid with a USB work. So yeah, see, maybe. Who knows? Flew to Taiwan. Wow, I bet that was great riding. Taiwan. I don't know much about Taiwan, really. Alex Morgan. Norway doesn't seem to have a lot of shelter. It doesn't. I randomly stumbled across a few when I was there. And I don't know if they were public or whether they were private or if I was in someone's garden or hunting estate or what, but I slept in them and never had any problem. Blob Special, good evening, good evening. Maybe a stupid question. What's the idea of the saddle with such a bent down front? Do you know what? I haven't got a clue. I've wondered this myself. I really don't know because your arse bones go here. This part of the saddle is basically irrelevant as far as I understand it. It doesn't come into contact with any bits of me. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. I think it just makes it look, yeah, sad, evil, tired. Bike looks good. Sergio with a Rohloff is awesome setup. Just keep up with the oil. Yes, I actually changed the oil not that long ago, but most of it just came out on the floor. So Football isn't my thing. I should be going off on a ride. Oh yeah, of course, the roads will be empty because the football's on. Awesome. Well, enjoy that, mate. I would love to be going for a ride. Unfortunately, I just buggered my bike. This chainring doesn't fit. The spider is, I mean, there's a millimetre in it, to the point where I'm almost thinking I could get my Dremel out and do some grinding. Because otherwise I have to send this back. Oh, bugger. Nice spoon, thank you. They will all end up on the Ko-fi store at some point for a very reasonable price. All proceeds go towards me becoming a wandering cycle wizard. Eagle Tactics, hi, yes, you caught me in the midst of another bike failure. Thanks, Morgan. Would like to ride the Calipers myself and link up with the Ridgeway. The Ridgeway is awesome. I've ridden the Ridgeway bit before. That's sort of my local, I can do that on a day ride. The rest of it I don't know of, so it should be a good ride. Yeah, standards. It's annoying. It is annoying. It's just me and Eagle Tactics against the world. This is right, but it is just, I'm not being an idiot, am I? I'm not. The thing is, so annoying. I don't even think I could grind that. I don't think there's enough. I better not mess with that because I might have to send that back. Oh, that's a bummer. That's such a bummer. Oh, come on. So that, maybe I could grind it. The BCD is right. The BCD is definitely right. It's just, I don't know if you'll be able to see, it's just a tiny little, like, these bits here are just, quarter of a millimetre off each one. I guess it might weaken them, but tempted. What do people think? What do people think? Grinding a chainring? Just taking a little bit off? Dicing with death? Ninja Master! I have a thorn chainring like yours, but mounted on an FSA Vero crank and on my Selly Troll. I seem to recall it fitted okay. Sorry to. Well, yeah. See, my cranks are Middleburn, and they make chain rings, but they're really hard to get hold of at the moment. So I bought this one. I got this from SJS Cycles, so wicked. But there is a bit of a shortage of components at the moment, and this was one of the only 38 tooth chain rings that I could find with 104 BCD. So I got it, and it's just, I just wish these companies would decide on something and stick to it. Looks like the roads won't be empty in the UK on Sunday when the soccer final will be. Oh, is it started? Is it happening? Are they losing? I'd call or email STS before. My neighbours are shouting no and swearing a lot, so I'm guessing that England are not winning. Maybe put it over in front instead of. Yeah, the thing is, there's like a seat, a little bed where it sits. So to get the chain line that I need, it has to bolt into there. And they are just ever so slightly. I mean, yeah. I think I'm going to do it. I'm not going to do it on here because it will make a whole load of awful noise. I think England just scored. Can you hear that? Wow. My neighbours care so much about a man kicking a pumpkin in a basket. Grinding should not make it weaker, I think. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's literally 1/4 of a mil off each one. And I mean, I don't really want to ruin this because it was, I can't remember, but it wasn't super, it was like 40 quid or something. I'm not too worried about the money side of it. What I would worry about is weakening it to the point when it breaks in the wilderness and I end up getting eaten by wolves. I dislike being eaten by large mammals. Granger, put the old chainring back in the meantime. So the old chainring, I can't ride it basically. The old chainring, it doesn't. Thing is, it doesn't look that worn, but it was making a god awful noise. I mean, it is worn. You can see it's worn, and when you pedal, you can hear it going. It feels, it feels bad. So it's clashing with the new chain. So I don't even have I threw the old chain away. So I need the whole new set. I know, and I should have known. Everyone knows this. If you change the chain and it's old, you change the chainring and the sprockets as well. That's so it always has been. No, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to grind this off camera. I'll do it tomorrow because it's really noisy. For now, what's next? What else can I do that's fun? Oh, I've got a cable. I can install a cable. And Eagle Tactics, don't grind, exclamation mark. Really? Why not? What happens if I grind? It's not even grinding. It's probably just taking the paint off almost. It's not it's just getting in there with a Dremel and buffing some. Well, I say that. Is it? Because the annoying thing with this is, like, I can measure the BCD because I know how to do that. But what is that distance? That diameter between the little feet on the spider? That's not a thing. That's not a number. It's about 1/2 mil off each foot. And I mean, it wouldn't make them any thinner than what was on there before, because I don't know. I'll have a look. If I can find something that I think will be better, I might send it back and order something else. But use a metal file, but score some marks on the thorn chain first so you know how. Yes. It will be asymmetric, won't it? I mean, the thing is the bolts will hold it in place to a certain extent, but I guess you want it to be sitting on those feet to stop any movement over time. Yeah, I don't know. I'll do some more research. That's an off-camera job, I think. Deeply annoying. I know how excited you all were to see me fit a new chainring. This is the cable that connects the. It's really bloody long. Why is it so long? Wow, that's bonkers. The old one, the old one I bought from the same place was about a quarter of that length. Okay, well that's fine. This is the cable that connects the hub to the e-work. I don't know what happened. Ooh, somebody at the door. Oh. Nice.
You did all of it, didn't you?
My housemate might have done.
No,
You didn't order anything?
it'll be the fucking road up the little alleyway.
Ah,
This isn't Hart Street.
this is Hart Street, yeah. Which number are you after? This is that. No, it might be
Whatever gardens it is.
this is 10 Hart Street, but
Yeah, not right. Oh, okay, no worries.
yeah, sorry, mate. He was definitely at the right place, but I didn't order any KFC, so I could have just taken that. Oh well. Right, what was I talking about? Massive cables. God, this is fun, isn't it? So, use a metal file. I don't see the problem. You don't grind on a place where there is much power. Yeah, it's just a question of fitting it, really. I think it will be. I think it'll be all right. I'll just do it slowly and carefully. I mean, I'll have a very quick look tonight and see if I can order something which will fit. But I don't know. I don't know what measurements you would look for. You know, when you buy a chainring, you get how many teeth it is. You get the BCD. I don't know what other measurements to look for, what other sort of stats to read up on, but we shall see. Anyway, old school gaming. Hello, hi, welcome to the fray. Do you have any Vernier Calipers to make precise measurements? Do you know what? You know what? I do. They're in a box that I can't get into. So, see, this is why we have tools, isn't it? So, the old ones are 91 millimeters. Is that the same on both sides? Should be, I guess. Ooh. "90 millimeters. So that is, yeah, 90. 90 millimeters from here, this flat foot here and this foot here. And this one is 88. So I'd need to take a millimeter off either foot, and they are so there's only 2 millimeters there. So how does this one work? Yeah, that one is really thin actually. That is only a millimeter thick. So I could grind that new one to the same thickness as this one, and as long as I don't overgrind, and as long as I don't let it get too hot, I don't know if that does anything, so I don't know what it's made of, then that might work. That might work. So yeah, I think I'll give it a shot, unless I can find something very easy tonight to buy. Alex, take airdrop again once I'm back. Yeah, Middleburn do their own chain rings, but they can't get them at the moment because they're quite a small company, I think, Middleburn, and I haven't been able to find any. You know, I was just going to get the same one I had before, but I couldn't find it. So I got the Thorn one because I just figured it's just all about BCD till I die. I mean, it's not just because there's millimeters of, no, because I just measured it. It is fine, it's fine. Right, so, okay. Good luck, you will make it. Thank you. I'm sure I will, I'm sure I will. It's just annoying because that's the sort of thing as well that, so I don't want to be tied into always having to buy Middleburn stuff. Same as I don't want to be tied into always having to buy Shimano stuff. It's like, oh, it just bothers me. Why can't everyone play nicely together? Why can't we all just get along? So this is mega long. So I can't even put that on because I'm going to have to rejig my wiring system. But that's fine. That's easy enough. But I'll have to find my e-work to do that and think about that kind of things. Now measure the crank itself. Thorn chain rings are 5 mil thick. The chain ring should be a press precision fit on the crank. I think $90. So this is 90. The Middleburn chain ring is 90. The Thorn chain ring is 88. Has an 88 millimeters of clearance between the feet. So I need to take a millimeter off the internal foot of each of those Thorn ones. I mean, it's not like there's any downward force on them, so it doesn't have to be, you know, super precise. All the force on the chainring is that way, isn't it? So yeah, it's fine. I'll do some Googling tonight. If I can't find anything useful, I'll get my grinder out. Chris Sixable just comes up with the weirdest stuff. It was you going on about dancing with cadavers, wasn't it, the other day? And one of them I seem to remember. I have no good answer for that question. I'd probably just lie there questioning my life, to be honest. Don't know what else to do now, really. Hour and a half, call it a day, maybe. Bums. Well, that was not as productive as I'd hoped it would be, but equally could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I think I will. Next week I will start my bikepacking trip from Hamburg to my family in Munich. Oh, mate, that sounds awesome. Hamburg to Munich. I'm trying to picture that in a map. So Hamburg's. I've been to Hamburg. Hamburg's on the Elbe, right, up in the north. So where do you go? What's the route from there to Munich? I imagine it's pretty. Because see, Germany is another country. Like I've done the north of Germany. I've done from the Netherlands around and then up to the Danish border, and I came down the Kiel Canal last time, and it was nice. But in the north, it's all very much like sort of home. It's rolling farmland and towns and stuff. But I think as you get further south, there's what looks like proper nuts forests and really cool countryside. There was an article in one of the bikepacking journals about a chap cycling around sort of the middle of Germany, and it looked fantastic. It looked really nice. Another one of those countries that just doesn't sort of pop into your head. I'm going to just go and cycle around in the middle of Germany. But actually, I think it would be brilliant. Quite envious. Report back. BCD is measured from the center of the bolt holes. Yeah, the BCD is right. And taking a millimeter off will mean that this, you can't see that, can you? This raises up a millimeter, but this as it is, this is 2 mil thick, and the middle burn ones are 1 millimeter thick. And I can't see any reason not to. I will try and buy something that fits, but if I can't, I need to get all. So when am I doing King Alfred's Way? 24th. So that's 3 weeks, I think. So this weekend, not this one, not the one after, but the one after that, I've got 4 days of cycling to do. So I have to have all this sorted. I don't want to be riding a creaky bike. So we shall see. We shall see. I may well contact SJS. They are really good. They sorted me out with my Rohloff when I was setting all that up, and they were brilliant. Their customer service was absolutely spot on. 820 kilometers. It's straight from north to south near the Alps. Oh man, that's going to be bloody marvelous. Good luck, Eagle Tactics. I'm envious of your journey. I hope it's amazing, and I hope you come back and report in on your return. Wind-blown and tanned and full of stories. Sounds good to me. Yeah. I've got nothing else. I've got nothing, people. I've got nothing. So I am going to put this back together just in case I need to, I don't know, escape from something. No, I've got a bicycle. Put this back together. Do some more research. See, that just fits on there like a charm, like a right beauty. And yeah, I'm going to call it a day. This is going to be a short one, hour and a half. Have you ever considered a bike trailer? Do you know what? Well, I haven't really. I've met a few people riding with bike trailers who really seem to like them. And I think the only thing that puts me off is thinking of the few times when I have ended up having to dismantle the bike and carry it over stuff, which doesn't happen that often, but it does happen occasionally. And those sort of hiker bike sections, which do happen slightly more often, with a trailer would just be horrendous, I think. So I've never seriously considered one. I think if I was a more road-oriented cyclist, I might. But I like to get off the trail and ride in the rough where I can. So I think for most of my rides it would be a hassle. But I hear they are very, very good for carrying weight. Some fabulous road bikepacking routes through Germany, the Harz Mountains and North of Wales, Black Forest. Yeah, see, Black Forest is where I've sort of heard of. It's nice, and trails hanging. Oh, the mountains, Austria. So, Eagle Tactics. I'm diabetic type 1, so what can go wrong? Nothing. Basically, nothing can go wrong. It'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. Try and come back in one piece. I've also been riding from Munich to Italy. Oh, man, that sounds, yeah, exhausting, I bet. Over the mountain, isn't it? Alex Morgan, I have a Bobby. Only used it twice in 5. See, this is my thinking about cargo bikes. I have this because I don't have a car, and I occasionally have to pick up heavy things. Sometimes I'd like to go to the shops and buy more than 2 bags of groceries. Sometimes I see a nice fallen tree and want to go and bring back a serious pile of logs, spoons. And I can't because I can only bring what fits in panniers. And so I have this constant sort of bubbling idea in my head that I might get a cargo bike. One of those, those ones with a platform on the front. And you can get like electrically assisted ones that carry something ridiculous, like 600 kilograms, proper load. Like, they're really expensive, and I would use it once or twice a year, and it would have to live in the front room here with my bike and my housemate's bike. But I would like one. I think they're really cool. I do think they're really cool. Eagle Tactics, 13,000 feet of climbing in 7 days. Holy crowley. That's 13,000 feet. That's nuts. Wow. Yeah, that kind of riding's all right if you're not on a deadline. If you're doing rides like that and you know you've got to be in X place by a certain time, then that very quickly stops being fun, in my experience. So, what have I got here? I've just, that goes there, that goes there, that goes there. That doesn't go there. That goes there. This goes back in here. I've got too many. What's going on here? Let's go like that. That goes like that. Oh. Da, da, da. Tune in to my channel and watch a man make a meal and stuff. Like that doesn't go in. Well, oh, come on. Just get in there. Stop battering around the edges. Said the actress to the bishop. Oh. Goddamn bicycles, I take it all back. I'm gonna get a car. I'm gonna get a nice lease car that I don't have to mend. Come on. Yes. Come on, get on that. Oh, have I not knocked the roll off? I just want to put it back on. Oh, you scumbag. Ah, do you know what? That might have been why all the oil came out. You're supposed to have it in gear 14 before you take the thing off. And I didn't know why, and I forgot to do it, and I did it in gear 8. I wonder if that's why all the oil bled out. Oh. There we go. There we go. So I think I now need to put new oil in the Rohloff, research chain rings, maybe grind down a chain ring. What's that? Maybe do some more research into this pedal cell thing. A surly big dummy, that's me. Can you turn the old one around the other way? Can I? Yeah, I guess. Why did I not think of that? Come on, give me reasons why this is a bad idea. Is this a bad idea? If the thorn one is reversible, are all chain rings reversible? Is this a thing I've just never known about? I assume that because some of them list reversible as a selling point, that not all of them are reversible. Have I been taken in by marketing here? Chris661 is asking me if I'm a secret lemonade drinker. I'm not, actually. I don't really drink lemonade. Do you know what I like to drink? A nice glass of water. I've always, even when I was a little kid, I remember all my mates would like drinking Coca-Cola and stuff. I'd go around to visit my friends and they'd say, "Oh, do you want a drink? Do you want a glass of squash or something?" And I'd say, "No, can I just have a glass of cold water, please?" And they'd say, "Oh, poor little Jeffro, his parents are abusing him, not feeding him soft drinks." Yeah, I've never really quite like a beer, quite like a glass of whiskey from time to time. I haven't had whiskey for a long time. Sounds like next door might have got so excited by the football that they've just started fighting. It looks fairly, I'm going to say that's pretty reversible. Do you know what? Faint heart never won fair maiden. Let's just try it. Let's just go bonkers. I'll get this on and then I'll go cycling around Reading singing the Danish national anthem. See if I can get myself beaten up. What is the Danish national anthem? Does anyone know? Let's do a quiz. Football makes people swear so much. I mean, I love a good swear, but I like it to be about things that matter. I sometimes feel like I'm missing out not being into sport because I don't think there's, I hear them next door and, other people in general. I don't think I've ever been that excited about anything. I don't think I've ever cared as much about a thing as some people seem to care about somebody they've never met kicking a ball into a net. And I'm not saying it's stupid, it's lots of people look at the things I care about and don't understand why I get so excited about spending a night in a tent doing nothing. I get that, but nothing has ever driven me to want to jump up and down and take my shirt off, or do you know what I mean? It's just I've never been in that sort of state of exuberance before. I wonder if I'm missing out. Filth, look at all this filth. Oh, I wish I had a garden. If I had a garden, I could be doing this out in the evening and I wouldn't have to worry about mopping my floor afterwards. I wish I had a garden I could skate away on. That's what Joni Mitchell was thinking when she wrote that song. But then someone said, oh, it should be river, you know. Wish I had a river. Sounds much better, Joni. What are you thinking of? Just talking nonsense here. Anyone listen to Joni Mitchell? I quite like a bit of Joni Mitchell. Okay, so another question for all you, my fellow cyclists. Do you listen to music while you're cycling? Do you have headphones on while you're cycling? Oh, this chainring is a bit knackered. But that's all good. It's only one side. Yeah, what do you listen to stuff? Do you cycle with headphones on? Where did we get to? I think the wear from the old chain won't change by flip-flopping it. Well, you can definitely see the side, the drive side is starting. I mean, on the sprocket on the back, you definitely can. And on, you know, you see really old chain rings that are definitely shark fin. And this one, you can feel, if you run a blade up the edges, you can feel the wear. You can feel the wear on the edge. I think it might help. I don't know. I'm going to try it because this is science. This is how we learn. So if your Rohloff has leaked oil, it could be that you let the oil drain to the non-drive side and leak out when you had removed the gear transfer boxes. The little pinion clear cog can come out. So it leaked out. I took out the sprocket and the sprocket carrier, and with the sprocket carrier comes out, you can see the bearings and a load of oil leaked out. So I didn't realize that I could take the chain ring. I didn't realize I could take the sprocket off without taking the carrier out, because the Rohloff video didn't say anything about it. Anyway, I've lived and learned. It's not bad. It was not bad to do another oil chain anyway. Yes, it's better to see. Set the gear up. Not crucial. Is the existing chain ring a genuine single speed chain ring? If so, it might well be reversible. It's single speed in that this is not a 3X crankset. This is a Rohloff specific crankset. So yeah, it is single speed, I guess. It looks totally symmetrical. It's not like offset to one side or the other. To my eye, it's reversible, so I'm going to try it. I totally share your view on sports and be excited about being in a tent. It's nice to know there's others out there, intelligent or philosophically wise. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to say it's better or worse. It's definitely different. It's definitely different. So yeah, blob special. It might work. It's only a temporary idea to get me home. It doesn't have to get me very far. I'm in my living room. So yeah, I'll try it. I'll try it. Thanks for sharing your trials and tribulations. It's always trials and tribulations, isn't it? One day, I want to have a session where people come away from it going, oh, that Jethro, he's so knowledgeable about bike things. He really knows his stuff, and I learned something from that session, rather than everyone just sitting there going, oh God, don't do that. No, don't turn that though. Oh no, put more grease on it. Don't put grease on there. But it's all good fun. It's all good fun. I like a little tinker of an evening. I'm gonna get all this back together, and then if this works, I might go for a little test ride. Otherwise, I might sit and whittle a spoon. Happy days. So, I don't have the excitement relating to a certain team or sportsman, but I do enjoy some moments. Well, see, I kind of do. I mean, I watched, what did I watch? I watched one of the early England games because I was over at my dad's and he quite likes the football. There was a shot, there was one shot, there was a young lad, I don't know his name, he's a young England player, I think he's only like 19 or something. And there was one shot, someone hoofed the ball in from right up the other end, massive, ridiculous kick. I could never kick a football like that. And it came in and it dropped down and he just put his foot up and touched it with his toe and it just dropped dead right there in front of him and he booted it, like, real good shot. And you look at it and think, yeah, I can see the skill. There are no argument. These people are incredibly good at playing football, and it's always a certain amount of pleasure involved in watching people who are really good at something do that thing. It's why you don't have to be, you don't have to be really into music to enjoy watching a really fantastic drummer or something that you can look at it and go, I can see the skill involved in this. I can see the thousands of hours of practice, and I can see why this is impressive. But no matter how good at playing football people are, I can't become excited about who wins. I don't know. But yeah, so I can fully see why people enjoy watching it, but not why they take their shirts off and shout and lot. Never listen. Okay, so yes, right. Music while cycling. This is important because I don't listen to music while cycling, and I find it a bit odd that some people do, because to me, I want to be out there. That's why I'm out there, kind of thing. And I am, I don't. I thought people listened to the music when they went to the gym and stuff because you're trying to distract yourself from the fact that you're at the gym. But if I'm out, I want to hear the sound of wheels on tarmac and birds singing and the wind blowing, and I want to hear all of that. So yeah, I don't listen to music, and I mean, I don't like to have opinions that affect other people, but I also kind of think to a certain extent it's a bit dangerous. Well, in England, it's a bit dangerous. If you're riding on the roads, you need to have your wits about you. You need to be listening to cars and stuff. What really annoys me is people jogging with headphones on and walking with headphones on, because even more so than cycling, if you're out for a walk, you're out for pleasure. You're out to enjoy being outside. You don't need to have headphones on, especially because I would assume they're just listening to some ridiculous self-help book anyway. You don't need to have headphones on. And if you're walking along a bridleway with headphones on, and I come up behind you on my bike, and I very politely ring my bell and I wait, and you don't hear me because you've got headphones on, so I ring my bell a little bit louder. You don't hear me, so I get closer, I ring my bell, and this goes on and on and on until I'm right behind you, cycling at walking speed. You suddenly realise I'm there and go, bloody hell! Ugh! And look all flustered, like I've done something wrong, and I feel all guilty. So yeah, it annoys me when people walk and jog with headphones on. And we all have to apologise to each other. Not that I mind apologising. I mean, I like apologising. I'm British. Last summer, I was out cycling and I was on a bridleway, and I came up behind two women on horses, and it was very very narrow path, so I couldn't get round them. And I'm never sure what to do with horses, because I know you're not supposed to ring your bell, and you know, horses, they get twitchy. Like, the amount of times that horses freak out when they see bikes. So I just thought, it's not far to go on this bridleway. I'll just creep along behind them, and then when I get to the junction, I'll overtake. And then one of the women must have noticed I was there, and she turned around and said, "Oh, thanks for waiting, but no, don't worry, it's fine, you can come through." And she pulled her horse over, and I said, "No, it's fine." And she said, "No, but please." And I said, "No, I'm sorry." And she said, "Oh, no, I'm sorry." And I said, "Oh, no, sorry, thank you, sorry." And then I went past her, and her friend, she said, "Marjorie, there's a cyclist coming." And she said, "Oh, sorry." And I don't know, I'm sorry. No, It was the most British conversation I've ever had as a British person. I think I probably exchanged, a good 50 words with these two women, and probably at least 35 of them were sorry. It was hilarious. I have a fairly low bar for hilarity, but it was amusing. I prefer nature sounds. Makes me more embedded in nature. Bloody exactly. That's what it's all about. Or nature silence, which is never really silent, but well, the song does say football crazy, football mad. Yeah, not me though. I don't listen to music as I'm hearing impaired. Oh, mate. So does that? So you can't listen to music? Yeah. Oh dear. Well, don't really know what to say to that. I've gone all British. I'm very sorry to hear that. To the point where you have to be worried about cars. I'd be worried about cars. This is why I don't wear headphones. Listening to some smooth jazz in the evenings is spot on, damn right. I'd be listening to jazz now if I didn't think the algorithm would hit me for copyright strike. I like a bit of jazz. I like a bit of 50s bebop. I'm a big fan of John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Dexter Gordon, Sonny Stitt, all them. Yeah, love a bit of jazz. I like the relative silence of cycling. I think we're all on kind of the same boat here. It's great. It's like a little club. Yeah, remove the sprocket carrier leads to oil loss. It definitely did. But that's cool. I mean, it's been, when did I last do an oil change on this? What do they say? Once a year or once every, I can't remember. I think I did one in December or January. So it's not really due another one, but it can't hurt, can it? So yeah. Learn by doing, absolutely. That's what I'm doing. Learn by cocking up. Tinkering and trying out makes it fun and interesting. There are already plenty of how-to vids. There are a lot of them, and it's weird that, because there's already plenty of everything on YouTube. I think that with the gear reviews that I do, there's loads of people doing gear reviews, and most of them know tons more about it than I do. But people still seem to watch them, and I don't know, hopefully they're useful. I once had a drum following me only to find out it was my own heart. We've all been there. When your heart's beating so hard you can see your shirt moving and you think you're going to die. Oh no, I've burst a glove. I like to listen to the environment and nature. There's nothing worse than some plonker in headphones swirling about in front of you, totally oblivious to the fact that you want to get past. Yeah, and totally oblivious to the wonders of the world around them, man. It's, I don't know. We live in an incredible, incredible world. And I think sometimes it's good to go out, cycle, and not listen to music. You're doing the, I guess it's a sort of meditation thing, and you get into that thing, and suddenly you just look at a tree and you go, my God, have you ever really stopped and looked at a big tree, a big old oak tree? They're amazing. Or a field of buttercups, you know, just nothing special. But why would you want to have anything between you and that? That's why I do it. Anyway. Trying to pass people walking with headphones on while I've pathway drives me mad. Hate them. Hate is a strong word, but yes, it's very annoying. Eagle tax. I need to say goodbye and I don't need to work tomorrow building some planes. Wow, you build planes. That's cool. You could definitely help me fix my bike then. It's been a pleasure to have you. Have a good night's sleep and enjoy building your planes tomorrow. I'm pretty much, all I'm going to do now is reattach this chain and see if it, see, I think I might need to take a link out of this chain as well. Some very strange noises coming from next door. I can't tell if they're happy noises or not happy noises. I think they're unhappy noises. Maybe football isn't coming home after all. Du, du. Du, 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 du. Mm-hmm. Oh. Yeah, that's really, really loose, that chain. And if I pull, that's nearly all the way. Well, does it matter if it's nearly all the way back in the dropouts? Probably not. It's about right, isn't it? About a centimetre up and down, centimetre. About the height of a chain up, right? I'm gonna call that good. If this works, this will be monumentally brilliant. I love the sound of a ratcheting wrench. Well, I suppose I shouldn't ride it too much if half of the oil's drained out the bloody roll-off. I mean, I've heard stories of people losing the oil out of their roll-offs and doing thousands of miles on them. I wonder. Doesn't sound too bad. I need to lean on the pedals for a bit. Equal tankers, I'm an aircraft mechanic. That's pretty cool. Who's got the most exciting job here? I write JavaScript for a living. It's not particularly exciting. It's kind of enjoyable, but Eagle Tactics is winning at the moment with an aircraft mechanic. Are there any experimental physicists in the room or volcanologists? What would be cooler than aircraft mechanic? know, sleeper assassins, lion tamers. What's the coolest job? If you sat down at a dinner party next to someone and said, "So what do you do?" What would be the coolest response? Volcanologist would be cool. Teacher? Man, teachers are cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of teachers. Education and healthcare. That's where it's at. That's how you make a nation great, in my opinion. You need more teachers, more cyclists, less middle management and marketing executives. So I'm good with that. Well, do you know what? I'm going to get tidied up and I'm going to go for a cheeky little test ride and see if that has fixed the issue. So I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been an absolute joy, as always, to share an evening with you all. I haven't got any more bike maintenance lined up for a bit. I was thinking I might do a spoon carving session instead, because I quite like these sessions. I don't get much done, but I quite enjoy them. So I might do a spoon whittling stream at some point, if that would be of interest to anyone. And other than that, yeah, King Alfred's Way in 3 weeks. And realistically, I might not get another video up until then. I'm going through a bit of a lull. I'm away camping this weekend with some buddies. Weekend after that, I might do something if I can think of anything to do. And then the one after that is King Alfred's Way, which is going to be awesome. We get to cycle past Whitehorse Hill, Avebury Stone Circle, Stonehenge. Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. 2 nights camping, 1 night in a pub. And hopefully we'll get to the end of it and Alan will be absolutely addicted to bikepacking and it will be the first of many trips that we'll do together. But that all remains to be seen. So yeah, if I do a spoon session before then, I may see you on that. If not, look out for the King Alfred's Way videos coming in a few weeks' time. Thanks for watching. Spread the word. Make me famous so I don't have to work anymore. And yeah, take care, stay safe, be lucky, be happy. See you all soon. Bye. Oh, now you send loads of messages just so I'm going to press the button. Sounds like fun. Enjoy the route. Well, looking forward to the video. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Factories, security, building sites, demolition, TV, broadcasting. Ran my own pub. That's one of those jobs that I know nothing about and imagine could be quite cool, but could be really, really, really hard work. And old school gaming is a secret agent, of course. Right. Yeah. I'm off, folks. Have a good one. I'll see you all soon. Bye now.